Honorable Minister Shri K.T. Ramarao, Dean of ISP Shri Ajit Rangnekar, members of the faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all admit that I am floored by the minister. His suaveness. You normally don't meet politicians like this. You meet politicians of a different nature, but today it was an enlightening experience for me. Of course, Dean Ajit Rangnekar has been a great supporter of the cause of entrepreneurship, and in that light, we have a great long-standing friendship and admire his commitment to the cause. And this is a unique program. I missed the board meeting in the morning, but I'm sure that during the day we'll make up for it. Well, I see a lot of youngsters here, and when you see youngsters, you are reminded of your own old days. I'm talking about almost prehistoric times. I already feel like something extinct. My creed is almost extinct. I was a student like you about 30 years back in IIM Ahmedabad, and I also wanted to be an entrepreneur. Well, with a surname like Mittal, what else I could have thought of? So I wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. So my business plan was ready. I was even allocated an industrial shed, and I was about to go and start. Then one of my professors in IMA, Professor Gupta, he said, Mittal, you are going to start on your own. So this institute is organizing this seminar, how to start an enterprise. Why don't you go and attend this seminar, an event like this? So well, as a very obedient student, I went and participated in that seminar. I still remember there was one speaker there, Dr. Rawal. He seemed to know everything about small-scale industry, and I was very impressed with his speech. Well, friends, that was the end of my entrepreneurial dreams, because I decided to join that institute, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, to gain knowledge like him, become like Dr. Rawal. 30 years I have been preaching entrepreneurship, but I have never become an entrepreneur. Well, the message I want to give you is, knowledge is important, but action is more important. That's the message I want to give you. If you are thinking of doing something, the day is today. Right now, please go ahead and start doing something. If you keep thinking for too long, it will never happen. That's the first message I want to give you. Well, I'll keep narrating quite a few stories, not about me. That's the last story about me. I'll keep narrating stories. Albert Einstein, all of you know Albert Einstein. He was a teacher. He was a great scientist, but he was also a teacher. So he set the question paper for his class and gave it to his typist. Those days there were no computers, so he gave it to his typist for typing. So the typist went and he saw that this year's paper is exactly similar to last year's paper. So he went running back to Einstein, saying that, sir, what have you done? This is the same paper which was given, and students have a habit of looking at last year's paper and they will immediately come to know. He said, don't worry, go and type it. This year I have changed the answers. Well, the problems are the same. The problems are poverty, problems are hunger, the problems are illiteracy, but we need to find new solutions. The questions are the same. The solutions will have to change. Do we have a new solution? Yes, let's try it. Let's try it. Let me digress a bit. We all have seen Olympics. In the Olympics, how is India's performance? One odd medal here and there, nothing great, nothing to write home about. But there's the Olympics of a different kind, the International Science Olympiad. For 20 years, my department sends about 20 students every year to participate in this Olympiad. Science, we have maths, physics, chemistry. Trust me, in the last 20 years, none of the students have come back without a medal. Now, what happens? We do not have a Google coming out of our system. We do not have a BlackBerry. We do not have Apple or so many other companies. What is the reason? There are statistics which say on the internet, if you say 40% of Google employees are Indians, 30% of NASA employees are Indians, several statistics like that. What happens? Why are we not able to create companies? What is missing? We are great knowledge workers. We are not great knowledge entrepreneurs. We are good as a worker, but we are not good as an entrepreneur. Plus, there are many other issues: the ecosystem, the support system, the environment, that has to get built up. I am tempted to share with you a story of a graduate from this college, ISB, Subramani. I think, how many of you know Subramani here in the crowd? Few of you know. Let me tell you a story about Subramani. Subramani came to us. We were running a grand challenge with Intel as our partner. Subramani came to us. He made artificial flowers. He made artificial flowers which felt and smelt like real flowers. When you touch that flower, it will give you that watery feeling because it was coated. The paper was coated with a hygroscopic enzyme. So when you touch that paper, it will give you that wet feeling, which like a real flower. Using a nanotech spray or a nano-based spray, the fragrance would last about 2 to 3 years. So now you have natural-looking flowers, which are. So that was his first product. So he won our Indian competition. We sent him to Silicon Valley for the final global competition. When he landed there, he was carrying a bunch of flowers like this to show it to the jury next day. So when he landed, the Quarter 9 department said, "Hey young man, where are you going?" So he said, "Well, I have this letter, invitation." No, we are talking about these flowers. You can't carry any organic material inside US. So he said, "But these are artificial flowers made out of paper." He said, "Come on, man, these are looking like real flowers. They are smelling like real flowers. Whom are you trying to fool? You come aside." He was taken aside. So for 4 hours, this fellow was held there. They called a botanist who did the dissection, gave him a certificate saying that these are artificial flowers. Then everybody posed for a photograph there with all those flowers, and so he was let go. In the evening, he went to a florist to pick up a similar looking flower so that he could confuse the jury the next day. So he wanted a real flower. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The fellow couldn't pick up a flower. The florist got irritated. "Come on, man, pick up a flower. Leave. He said, "No, this is an artificial flower. I want a similar flower." So the florist was more experienced. He could make out that it is an artificial flower. He said, "How many of these are you carrying?" He said, "Right now I have about 30, 40 of these." "No, I want to order 10,000 flowers." "What is the price?" His cost of manufacture was about $2. He said $10 a piece. He said, "I'm giving you $10 order right now, 10,000. He said, "You write that order and give me the check." Next day was the business plan competition. Subramani presented just 4 slides. Just 4 slides. The first one was the certificate from the Quarter 9 that these are artificial flowers. Second was that photograph which they had taken with them. The third one was the order which he had received, and the fourth one was copy of that check. These were the 4 slides he presented, and needless to say, he was a global winner in that competition. The story doesn't end here. The story, in fact, starts from here. These flowers were made in a remote village in Bihar across the river Ganges, where fisherwomen would cut and stitch nets, fishing nets. They had nimble fingers. Their income levels went up by 300 rupees per day by doing these flowers. A connect between where the income rises, where the income is raised, and to where it is distributed. A direct connect. He graduated, I think he is a 2004 alumnus. And if you go to the library here, I once went to the ISB library. There are plaques which are there in his honor, which are his awards which are kept there. Well, youngsters can do multiple things. I am glad that the government of Telangana has really decided to establish a huge facility for startups here. It's a remarkable decision, sir. I must tell you, this is, you are moving as a government. I will share with you an experience of a young entrepreneur. His name is Sanjay Vijay Kumar. Some of you might have heard about Startup Village. Startup Village is in Cochin. One day, Sanjay, he was about 23, 24 years of age. I knew him earlier because he was incubated in one of our incubators. He comes to my office, opens the door, and the first thing he says is, "Mr. Mittal, you don't know how to promote entrepreneurs." So I thought that's the only thing I know of. And this fellow, youngsters, comes and tells me, "Mr. Mittal, you..." So he must have realized that shocked look on my face. So you know what I mean is that you don't know how youngsters think. So that the underlying statement is, you have gone too old, which I accept. So I said, Sanjay, come on, what is it that you want? Would you like to promote an incubator with me? I said, something has gone into his head. So just to discourage him, I said, Sanjay, you will have to raise 50% of the amount. We will give you other 50%. So I thought he will never get his 50% and my 50% also will be saved. A week later, he comes, "Mr. Mittal, my 50% is done. Where is your 50%? I said, hold on, Sanjay, government doesn't work that fast. So ultimately, we started that startup village. Today, he has Chris Gopalakrishnan as the chief mentor. Who's who of the industry is involved with this. They have a program of 1,000 startups in 3 years. He's already done 285. That was the last count, because these numbers keep on changing. When I quote 285, I am sure this would have been 300 plus by now. So the power of youth, the power of, he's not only, he's got investments of, I think, about 30 to 40 crores he must have raised himself as in his own enterprise, but he's carrying along 300 other entrepreneurs with him. That's the power of entrepreneurship. Well, sir, you will have to tell me. Okay. My stories are never-ending stories, sir. Okay. I hate making this statement because I belong to the Department of Science and Technology. But let me make this still. Technology is a highly overrated virtue. In any enterprise, it is only 5% of the game. 95% of the game is your business model, is your marketing, is your management of finance. Technology is only 5% of the game. If you have got your business model right, the chances of success are very high. Most of us in the technology domain, especially the technologists, the scientists, the innovators, they are in love with the idea. They keep working on that idea till it is dead. They will never go to the market. Or if they go to the market, they will not worry about other domains of the business. Let me give you a small incident which happened right here in the city of Hyderabad. This is a company about 700 crores turnover it had reached. I will not name the company, not tell you the name of the business because it's very easy to guess. It is a very exclusive business. The managing director of the company is a bundle of energy, bundle of joy when it comes to technical presentation. Sir, ye karunga, wo karunga. He's jumping with joy. When it comes to the financial presentation, he lets his general manager finance make the presentation and he doesn't even sit in the same room. So you can imagine the kind of apathy the technology entrepreneurs have about management, about finance. But I would advise you to go forward. Let me give you another story about a simple technology, very simple technology, but how it impacted. This fellow was inside our incubator, B.S. Maan, a young Sardarji in Noida. He was in a very simple space, RFID technologies, which is very common, very simple. He went to a builder in Noida, Shipra Sun City. There are about 15,000 houses and the cars were getting stolen. So he said, I can fix a solution, RFID based solution. There are 8 gates of the colony. We'll fix car readers there. On the car we'll have a RFID tag. On the keychain we'll have a RFID tag and we'll solve this. So the builder asked him, how much would you charge? There were about 20,000 cars in that locality. So he said 500 rupees per car per month. So a neat, clean business of 1 crore of rupees for a startup who is starting today. So the man is jumping with joy. Boss, ho gayi, zindagi ban gayi. So he went back. There were 6 resident welfare associations in that complex. The people who had lost the elections made sure that nobody registers for this automated system. Only 3,000 people registered out of 20,000 cars. 3,000 were registered. With the result, only 4 gates out of 8 were fitted with the automated system. And this fellow is virtually in tears. And what would happen is that people who do not have the automated system would come to the automated gate and start shouting at the gatekeeper. Kholta kyun nahi hai? Janta nahi main kaun hu? In Delhi we have this culture. Janta nahi main kaun hu? So the fight started. So he was in tears. So they did some thinking, great thinking, and they employed deaf and dumb people as gatekeepers. Deaf and dumb people as gatekeepers. So now the car fellow will come and this fellow at the gate would only fold his hands and would say, go to gate number 4. So this fellow is still angry. Kholta kyun nahi hai? So somebody would go and then tap at his shoulder and would tell him that, see, this fellow can't hear, he can't speak, why are you shouting at this fellow? So this fellow is internally hurt. But overly he says, kaise logon ko naukri pe rakh lete hain? That's what kind of people do they employ. But then he goes to the other gate. 31st of December 2008, Maan threw a party for all these deaf and dumb employees, about 30 of them, and their families. The local media covered it well. Next morning, he made photocopies of the cuttings of those and put it in each of the house. February 2009, Maan had 18,000 vehicles registered for the automated system. Then he developed this into a focused advertisement category. Now when you drive towards the gate, he knows your demographic profile, your data. It says, Mr. Mittal, your car insurance expires in 15 days. The message is on the TV screen. You pick up a pamphlet and with a check you deposit it there. In the evening when I go with my family, depending upon my budget, it will say holiday package. In my case, it will say Haridwar, but if you go, maybe they say holiday package in Switzerland. So because this is depending upon the budget, very focused advertisement where the holiday package is being offered to you. So this category was picked up in the Cannes Film Festival. He got an invitation to project himself there. Did a number of other things. Maan became the biggest employer of deaf and dumb people at one point of time. Well, I can go on with the stories, but let me last one. I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds. How many of you know Angry Birds? Okay, so then, so I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds. We were at Global Entrepreneurship Congress at Moscow. So when I met him, he shared a beautiful experience. He said every Christmas I would go home for holiday and I will tell my mother that this is the new game which we have developed and give my iPad to her. She will see that game and next day morning she would pat at my shoulder, as any mother would do, very well done son, and return my iPad, and I would come home. And incidentally, Angry Birds was their 50-second game. 50-second game. It was not their first game, it was their 50-second game. And again, when they developed Angry Birds, he went home, gave his iPad to the mother and said, we have developed this. So next day, the mother again patted his back as usual, but did not return the iPad back to him. So he said, that is the time I actually got a signal that we have actually hit upon something big. And that's you get clues from the environment. Be sensitive what those clues you are getting to. One absolutely last one. We all talk about failure. We dread failure. And that is why we don't become entrepreneurs. I happened to be in Silicon Valley in UC Berkeley, and there was this great speaker, promoter of an airline, who came. He promoted that airline, but virtually was fired from that airline. So in a crowd like this, people asked him, were you not afraid of failure? He said, yes, I was very afraid of failures. But then after having failed, I realized that it is one thing to get a pink slip from a desk, and the other thing to your failure being announced in 150 newspapers as headlines. So he said, even if you fail in a grand way. So that's the message he gave. Well, I would like to wish all of you a very good entrepreneurial career. As Ajit said, don't be in it for making money. If you have the passion, money will come. Money is a byproduct of a passion, of an idea, which is executed beautifully well. Thank you very much. All the best.